Ah.
People at least that watch live.
Do we need the mic or we don't need? Yeah, okay, isn't it? No need, okay. Good morning. So I am deliberating whether we should say some prayers or not. On the one hand, I just want this as a lecture. So when we have all that prayers involved, then it becomes like a teaching. So what should we do? There's a big dilemma now. Okay, I think we skip that. Just take it as a lecture. I guess we are all Buddhists, so I think no harm, isn't it? Okay, let's do that then. Sanje Jodan Zoye Jonamala Janju Bado Dane Jamsu Che Dagi Jenso Nyebe Sonamanje Dola Penje Sanje Dubara Shoye Sanje Jodan Zoye Jonamala Janju Bado Dane Jamsu Dagi Jinso Jibe Sonam Ji Dola Penje Sanje Dobara Sho Sanje Jola Soje Jonama Jubado Dane Jabzo Che Dagi Jibe Sonam Ji Dola Penje Sanje Dobara Sho. So that's the refuge prayer plus generating the bodhicitta mind, isn't it? So, are you all going to stay for the class or anybody leaving after the meditation? Okay, in that case, we will have break at 11 instead of after the meditation. So today, before we do the meditation, I wanted to introduce you this particular practice. So this is another method to settle our mind, to calm our mind, especially to neutralize our mind. So whenever we sit down to do meditation or any practice, there is no way that we can do effectively if our mind is filled with strong negative emotions such as anger, jealousy or attachment. So they always recommends that you use some form of techniques to first neutralize, level your mind. It is same as when we have to plant anything. When the farmers, when they plant anything, first they have to level. They have to clear all the pebbles and rocks and all that. So once the land is kind of leveled and cleared of all the obstacles, only then they will start planting the seed. So likewise, when we do meditation, when we do any Dharma practice, we have to make sure that our mind is kind of neutral so that it is easier to set or transform into a virtuous one. If our mind is very strongly in that negative form, it is very difficult, if not impossible. So there are techniques. So one very common one in Tibetan Buddhism is counting our breath, focusing on our breath. But now in modern world, that has become the core meditation practice. Focusing on your mind or breathing is the main practice. But in Tibetan practice, that is like a preliminary. So you first calm your mind, settle your mind, and then engage in the actual meditation. So anyway, when we do tantric practice, there's something called Lungro Guduk, which is kind of a, action-filled, kind of a boisterous, is it? Is that the word? When you're a lot of action, boisterous, yeah. Anyway, I will let Geshe-la explain. He explains very nicely. But unfortunately, I think you are aware that Geshe-la has already passed away. Geshe Damdula. Hello.
So usually we call that Lungro Kutuk tu Seva, dispelling the unwanted vestiges of breathing in 9 rounds. And we do that so I have the vantage point. I can fling my hands, arms anywhere without harming each other. But you have a danger of hitting each other unless you want to. In which case, then this is a very good opportunity with my sanction, with collective allowance. Otherwise, be careful, right? So first one has to know what it is for, right? This is in place of the initial deep, deliberate breathing. So the traditional way of doing, one traditional way of doing, I cannot claim that to be there. Not just the definitive, but not.
Anthony, can you give me that controller? I can control. Long enough to do. Where is lapel? Okay.
Not all there is. There is a better expression. Okay. Yes, that's definitely not the only, but I'm thinking of even more flowery term. Okay. Anyway, so this is one way, but it is traditional. I'm not making up, okay. You have your hands like this. Not like this. This is really getting dangerous. Like this. Here. Like this. Right? And then you hold it like this. Now you hold it on your knees. Right? And then, as though you are rubbing it against your thigh, kind of pull it slowly back with force. Like this. And then bring it here. Like that. It's fun, right? Now Now we'll first go to the left, like this, and then pull your right hand closer to you, under your armpit. Right? Now bring your left hand back. With the first finger, block the right nostril. Now you begin with the left hand. You get to breathe in with left nostril first, right? You have to remember that. Okay? Now we begin with breathing in, not breathing out. That's very important. There is a significance there. Now you breathe in through the left nostril, deep. And then change the hand, block it, and then breathe it out. And then again breathe in. Three times. 3 times we breathed in. We took in breath through the left nostril. All out breath was through the right nostril, right? We could have always done it. How wonderful does it feel? And then particularly when you do that, by focusing your attention on the breath, it'll be so releasing. Let's do it again with the left, okay? Like this. On your knees. Ready, set, go. See, left, we go left, right? We go left, and then the right hand goes under the armpit with the fist form. Okay, now left hand back, beginning with your first finger, block the right nostril. Okay, now we'll do this deep, deliberate. Do this, and while we do this, we also focus on it. Okay, we do 3 times of in breathing through the nose, left nostril, out breathing through the. Okay, yes, let's begin. Then we bring the hands back in the first position, that of resting on the knees. During this time, it is allowed to breathe in and out. Do you call it sonorously? With sound. Okay? Like this. You're allowed to do this. You have my sanction. Yeah, that's the way to do it. So don't feel inhibited against that. That also holds some key, but the key is doing that together with focusing on it, being there. Now we do this alternatively. Now we do this with the right hand, okay? Okay, like this. Here. Yeah, it makes a difference when you rub it against the thigh. Pull it back like this with some force. Not too much, but some force. And then now you get to breathe in through the right all 3 rounds, right? You have the right hand blocking the left nostril and then breathing in through the right. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we'll do it again, okay? Without my intervention. And without feeling rushed. During meditation, feeling rushed is the worst thing. Then you cannot meditate. You feel rushed. It's like pushing. You don't get to take your time in doing what you need to do. And here too is the same case. Don't feel rushed. There's no reason to be feeling rushed. And there is also no reason to feel judgmental. Just do it. Be fully there. No one is watching. Everyone's busy doing their thing. Okay? and even if someone is worrying, what's there? So what? Okay, let's do it. Okay? Yeah. Like this. Okay? Are you having your hands in the right position, right? Yeah. The thumbs inward and then closed by the fingers. Yes. That's important. Yes. Now. Again, important thing is when you do this, don't feel rushed in doing this, because rushing up just messes up. Oh, that's a good rhyme. Rushing up just messes up. Okay, now the third round. We did 3-3, right? Now the third round is through both the nostrils. So we do that by blocking both the nostrils. No, now we don't block our nostrils, otherwise we cannot breathe in and out through the nostrils, right? So this time, yeah. So we just hold our hands like this, or either you could hold it like this, but don't pull it up. Just hold it like this. Now breathe in and out through the nostrils, both the nostrils. Make sure you breathe in and out through both the nostrils, okay? Not just one like this. Okay, let's do it. Breathing. But important is, the session should always begin with in-breath, not out-breath. When you are beginning it, you may need to breathe out, but then count the session, beginning of the session, with the in-breath. There is a special significance there. Okay? Yeah. Now again, as before, rest your attention on the breath while you are taking your time in doing a long, deliberate, deep breathing in and out. Through both the nostrils. At the end of the third round, just stay there. So that's what we call.
What do you think? It's good, yeah. So there are different variations. Geshe-la says natural. So there's another variation where you hold like this. Your thumb touch this. Yeah. So there is some significance to that in tantric practice of all this, like this. And if you want to make it more, profound or more interesting, you can also include visualization. So you have to first visualize what is called the 3 chakras. Are you familiar with that one? So you have the central chakra and then the 2 parallel chakra. No, that wind. I'm not talking to chakra. Sorry, the 3 wind channels. wind channels. So you have the central channel, and along the two, along that central channel, there are two parallel channels. So when you breathe from there, the first round, so when you are breathing from so when we do like this, so when you breathe this, so the channel starts from here and then goes down, and then where I think it's where the private parts is there, so it's meeting there. So you bring from this channel and breathe out. When you breathe out, imagine it goes from here and comes out. Breathe in from here is like go in, comes out. Go in, comes out. So when you do that one, bring in, goes out. So it really clears the channel. And then the final one, when you do that, so now the channel is kind of connected to the central channel. So when you bring in, and then comes out from the central channel. So you are clearing the central channel. Because when we talk about the completion stage, it is all about clearing the central channel. At the moment, for ordinary people, central channel is locked. There is no, the wind flowing in our central channel, because there are a lot of chakras here, chakras there. Cannot. So the practitioners, tantric practitioners, try to do that, to bring, not only bring the wind inside the channel, but also to maintain that, sustain that flow. So this happens automatically when we die. We call it clear light. Clear light happens because then it becomes empty. So there, it has that significance, the tantric part of significance. So that's something you can think about adding to your meditation. So not only it has all these spiritual advantages, but general health supposed to be really, really good. Minimum unblocking the sinus problems. And then it also helps with flu and cold and all that. When I was in Atlanta, I was quite diligent. I did that and I felt that was very good. But then come Minnesota, lazy. Okay, so now let's try to do the usual meditation. Are you okay with the light? Okay. I'm going to turn off this. Okay, we don't need this. Okay, so let's arrange your seat. Today we are going to do something called resting your mind. The one that we did last time was something called attention focus. So today is something a bit different. Let's begin the practice by finding a relaxed, comfortable posture. Your spine should be straight. Hold your head slightly bent forward. Shoulders should be level and relaxed, neither slouching nor stiff and tense. Place your two hands in the meditation gesture, the right hand on top of the left hand, with your thumbs touching at about the level of the navel. Alternatively, you could place your hands gently on your thighs with the tips of your fingers resting on your knees. Let your mouth and teeth rest in a relaxed, natural position. The tip of your tongue should rest gently on the upper palate, just behind the teeth. Let your eyes relax. You can either keep them gently closed or gaze softly in front of you at an angle where, if you were to look, you would see the tip of your nose. Now let's take 3 deliberate deep breaths, each time breathing all the way down into your belly as if you are filling up the torso with the in-breath from the bottom to the top. Breathe deeply in this way and feel your belly rising each time as the air fills in. When you exhale, let your breath out at a slow, measured pace. Again, draw in a deep breath, filling your body with revitalizing oxygen. And as you slowly release this second breath, feel yourself relaxing. On the final deep breath, draw in all of your attention into this moment and release the breath slowly, feeling yourself drop into your body and into the present moment. Now allow your thoughts to gather here and now in this present moment by gently focusing your awareness on a chosen object. It could be a sensation, the breath, or any point of focus that helps you calm and center the mind. If you decide to focus on your breath, choose a pace of breathing that is neither shallow nor deep, just natural. Notice where you feel your breath in your body most prominently. It could be the tips of your nostrils where you feel subtle sensations as you breathe in and out, or your belly where you feel the sensation of its rising and falling as you breathe. Once you have the focal point, just breathe in and out while resting your mind on that focal point. There is no need to think about your breath nor control it. Simply allow your body to breathe naturally at its own pace and experience each incoming and outgoing breath. As you do this, you might notice that your mind has wandered. You may start thinking about other things. If this happens, it is not a problem. It's very natural. Simply notice that your mind has wandered and gently bring it back to your breath. It is important not to judge yourself when this happens. Simply bring your attention back to your breath and continue focusing on it. Now let's shift our awareness from the breath to our unfolding inner experiences. Allow any thoughts, emotions, or sensations in the space of your mind arise naturally, and simply be aware of their presence. Allow them to arise, to be there, and then pass on in their natural course. Do not show preference for one kind of thought or feeling over another. Do not try to resist certain kinds of thoughts or feelings, and try not to get involved in these thoughts or feelings. Simply allow them to emerge in the space of your mind. Observe them while they are there, then allow them to pass naturally. The mind is similar to the ocean. On the surface, it can be calm and clear, or stormy and rough. Similarly, the mind can be agitated and swirling out of control, or pleasant and calm. But in the depths of the ocean, deep below the changing nature of the surface, the depths are always cool, clear, and calm. Try to connect to this part of your mind. No matter what is occurring on the surface, it is always luminous, clear, and calm in the depths. Now begin to return your attention to your body. Start to notice the physical sensations that you are feeling in your posture. Bring yourself back into the room. Start to notice any sounds, smells, or bodily sensations that you are sensing here in the present moment. As we finish the practice, let us resolve to try and keep this level of awareness in our lives. And if you are like to conclude with a dedicatory wish for well-being for yourself and others, you may do so at this point. Let us also cultivate a wholesome motivation for the session. Cultivate a compassionate motivation by recognizing the kindness and interdependence of all beings. Reflect with gratitude on how others contribute to our well-being, allowing loving kindness and concern for their suffering to arise. Then contemplate our own bondage in samsara. And generate a sincere wish for freedom. Extend this awareness to all beings, realizing they too suffer in the same cycle. Resolve to attain awakening so you can truly help free them from suffering. Dedicate the session to this altruistic aspiration for the benefit of all. When you are ready, you can gently open your eyes. This concludes the meditation. What do you think? Already on another level? I find it funny that at the end we say that you can now return as if we are really in this, immersed in our meditation. Try to feel the sensation, all this. That's what happens when you are really absorbed in meditation. You don't feel any surrounding presence. You want to stack another one? Yeah. Why don't you use a chair? Huh? I think it's still the one behind, isn't it? No, there's one there.
That would admit that I'm getting old.
Yeah, it's better. It's. I think it's behind there.
I thought it was very, very good what you said about actually watching your thoughts. I've never had that instruction.
I find that very difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know how just focusing on your breath is much, much easier. Do you feel the same? The watching is like you need to work harder. There is more labor involved. You have to spy your mind.
Right.
Yeah. So not only you are focusing, you are also spying on what you are thinking and what's going on. So it's very hard. I always find that very challenging. So you had no problem?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going over a teaching from Locho Rinpoche in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were there, Anthony. He was saying that you can't use all of your mind to watch. Just a little small part of your mind.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Using just a part of it. Yeah, of course, when your thoughts are going around, and then you are also doing that. So you are not using the whole mind. The mind is still active. That's why all that kind of thoughts, all kinds of thoughts are still happening. That means your mind is still working. And then you are using part of it to see what is happening, what other emotions are arising. So that's challenging.
Shankar said once he gave us a first meditation class. I remember he said that it has to do with the breath, or the wind, the thoughts are rising in the wind, and if you can turn the mind or you control the breath, you control the thoughts, basically.
How do you control your breath?
I mean, by stopping, by bringing a cessation to the breath or move.
I'm going to tease him. If you stop your breath, you will die. Unless you're trying to bring that clear light, then you can stop your breathing and you die, and then that will automatically arise. Anyway, before we start, let's just I got the. Hey, why am I going down here? Oh, these are from the past one. Somehow. These are to remember the what was that one? The recap. This is all we have done that. Okay, supposed to start from here. Okay. How about if we have a break now? There's tea, there's hot water, and then there's kapse, and then at the end, I think you will see that there's a clear plastic bag. If any of you would like to take some of those, we call that kapse, please pack, because there's that big tub there that's full of kapse. So we want to kind of finish that. Yeah, please, let's pause here. Nga chubu yu. Ale, nga peche chu digdo. Ale, chubu jo na pake chi. Ore, ta. Ale, ngā pāki nā dīn dīgdō, pāndē kāp chīk nā dīgdō. Yā, dī chū dī yā shīwū uzun yī lō nē chī bā chāyō. Dī shī yā nā phāngā yā, āndā gō rē yā. Rē, pāndē pāki nā lōn dīgdō, pāki kāp chīk nā lī yā. Disposable kāp nā lōn dīgdō. Kē mā rē, chā tī sī nī shī tōng. Pāki kāp chīk nā lī. 도지체. 데 디도 나 대산 디도. 대산 캠에도 데 사지요. 사지요. 디 알레 아니 여 간도 버셔. 단단한 콘주 제 제. 콘주는 아직이라. 저 단단 가셔 때문에.
The feedback was coming from going into the speaker, from the computer to the speaker.
Yeah, and also I think it's a bit high.
What was the level? Did you put it down?
So this at the moment is 6.5. Normally 7 should work.
Yeah. Okay, I'll write that down on my notes because I tried it.
Yeah. Hello, 도시천, 나서 도시천.
So the awareness component of observing the thoughts or the breath, whichever it may be. Was the awareness also the luminosity and the emptiness component to it?
Yeah, all mind.
Yeah.
As long as it's all mind, then yeah, it is. It has that factor. Yeah.
At what point do you kind of let go of the idea of the me observing the thoughts and just being in awareness? Because I find it to be always challenging. I still have the concept of the self observing the thoughts, but also knowing that the self is empty in nature. So I've been taught different ways, but still kind of trying to let go of the self in the meditation and just being aware. I still find that challenging.
It's not easy, isn't it? Even to do that, that's not easy. But they said,
Correct way to think about it, or
no, it's what was the question?
so like when I'm observing the thoughts and the awareness, but I can still have the sense of the self.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, because at this time we are not trying to, what you call, negate the inherent, what is it called, inherent self or anything. You are just observing so that all these negative emotions, all those falls are not, it's kind of separate from your mind, you see. Because when you are able to observe this, you see all that kinds of emotions, but you also see that there's another self.
Yeah.
So if you do more and more, I was told that, then you will be able to see that the mind, the nature of mind is still clear.
Yes. Yes. And if you do see like a negative or even a positive arise, is the idea to just to let it go and still focus on the nature of mind?
Yeah, that's a kind of, I think, the Dzogchen teaching, isn't it? Yeah. No, I'm not the fan. That's how they focus mainly on just watching your mind and trying to connect to the what do you call the primordial, is it?
Primordial wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very something. Good. Very helpful.
공개 매우스 디잡로들 네 백나 차저게 랩톱 차저 백만 고 줘. 네. 제가 요새 그거 그 말에 이 어디 주는 네. 그 말에 또 좋아. 가부 춘춘 주죠. 어떻게 돼? 진짜 유면 동안. 네. 도대체. 도대체. 다 멘토시지. 다 디스토시잖아. What happened to your gong? What happened to your gong? Are you okay, Ken, to sit like this?
Yeah.
How about the chair? Yeah. Yeah, you can sit just here. Just right at the back. No, you can just sit behind, right over there. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I should get a table for you as well.
High maintenance.
Okay, let's. So today being the first in-person class after that break, I wanted to kind of read this to you. So this is from the Lamrim commentary composed by the fifth Dalai Lama. So in this particular text, so every time the fifth Dalai Lama concludes one particular heading or chapter, so there's always a few words. So this is after the precious human rebirth. So this is what the fifth Dalai Lama says. Tserab mangbur sibe punzola che yang tadung nyamda dungyawar tongshin tsendi senor longju so che gun yingburun zembe lumbu kyos. Got it? So it says Tserab mangbur. So we have taken countless lives in the past, according to Buddhism. So during those births, during those our previous lives, we got to enjoy really good lives. Countless, they're also countless. Of course, there were countless unhappy, unpleasant, miserable lives, as well as there are countless great lives. We have enjoyed the life of an emperor, life of a king, life of the powerful people, wealthy people. Despite all that, enjoying all that, those great things, he said we are still back to suffering. We are still subject to suffering. Despite seeing that we are still suffering, regardless of our previous lives, countless lives, we still value, we value the material wealth, material possessions, as if they were very rare and very special and very precious. That means, you fools. The fifth Dalai Lama called those people fools, which includes us, isn't it? So the fifth Dalai Lama is calling us fool in a sense that we have taken countless lives in the past. We have enjoyed worldly pleasures so many times, but still we value, we treasure the worldly gains. So for that reason, we are fool, we are stupid. So it says, Ngunje tade chuzu dishindu choje karna tasum tön chembo ningla shube tunye tewaru sungne tengi duma lungla kurus. So now he said, why this has happened? Why we are in this condition? He says it's because that our conduct, the way we behaved in the past, is that we are so obsessed with worldly concerns. We are always chasing after fame, wealth, what else? All about the worldly things. It calls it the spirit, one who can cause so much destruction. So that happened, the obsession over the worldly concerns. Because of that, we have viewed the causes of suffering as the causes of happiness. And by doing that, we have kind of obliterated our lasting happiness. So we have kind of, thrown at the wind, so that kind of swept away, carried away our lasting happiness. Tani pende lekso drubeshi tejur drusing lenchi nyebandi nyele rinjin lingdu machimbar kowar tonglo chena ningza rules. So he said that it's not late. We are fortunate enough to obtain this human body. So while we have this opportunity, which has the Teni pende lekzo Drupa shi dejur dusing. So this is like the ship that can that can lead us to any destination, either a good rebirth in the next life, or nirvana, the liberation, or full enlightenment. It's just that we have to book our ticket. We have to buy our tickets, isn't it? Then it will take us to our desired destination. So while that ship is waiting for us, which can carry us, which can ferry us to whichever destination we want, but if we consciously, intentionally skip that ship, then it is very unfortunate, it's very sad. It is like somebody who endured all that hardship to go to a treasure island and then came back empty-handed. Such person would be viewed as fools, isn't it? So we are fools. Yeah, if we don't grab this opportunity, then there is no difference between that person and us, who goes all the way to Treasure Island and comes back empty-handed. So we have to really take the, extract the essence of this precious human rebirth. And the best way to do is to cultivate bodhicitta. With bodhicitta, we can kind of ascertain all the good qualities, actually, when you think of it, like good rebirth. The main cause of good rebirth, like human rebirth, is practicing, or is what you call the, how to put it, is practicing or avoiding or restraining from engaging in 10 non-virtue. So it's practicing the 10 virtues, the morality of 10 virtue, or morality of restraining ourselves from the 10 non-virtues. So 10 non-virtue is mainly focused on not harming others. Killing, stealing, all these are based on harming because it harms other people. So therefore, we shouldn't. So when you have bodhicitta, you treasure the other person more, you cherish the others more. With that kind of mind, you wouldn't even think of harming the others. When you wouldn't think of engaging in stealing others' property or possessions. You wouldn't think about killing, let alone actual engaging in the actual activity. So you can see the connection. So when you are able to generate that, all this comes naturally. So we don't have to specifically do something to ensure a good future rebirth. It comes automatically. You don't have to put effort. It is there. And then, of course, nirvana, because that motivates us to really liberate ourselves and others from the samsara. We know that, like us, others are in that same boat. So we must, it will propel us to strive to achieve enlightenment. So that's what we are trying to do. But it's not easy, especially bodhicitta, especially when we talk about exchanging ourselves with others. You say that, oh, you have to cherish others. You have to put others before yourself. That's not what we are used to, isn't it? We are used to, hey, me first. Especially in the West, isn't it? Ken is disputing. Yeah. It's very difficult. And sometimes we feel that it's like, that's not feasible. It's like that's kind of what do you call fairy tales. It's impossible, you feel, but obviously it is possible. And Buddhas have done it. And I think somebody told me that when the person heard about that bodhicitta mind, taking, thinking this concern of others' welfare, not to your inner circle of friends and families, but to everybody, including your enemies. And that person said, we feel like it's not possible. But over the years, oh, that is not impossible. That is possible if we put effort. So don't get discouraged. And don't just, rub it aside, is it? Kind of push it aside, that's not possible. Or don't say that that's not for me. Remember that not for me, that I cannot do that. That's form of laziness. Remember, we have 3 forms of laziness. Do you remember those 3? Chawa nyinshingi lelo. Ani kare. Tanyi la nyebe lelo. Tene gilu we nyelo. So we have all these 3. These these 3 types of laziness is really pulling us down. So first is like we have so many other things to do. We are so engrossed in worldly things, and your Dhamma practice comes last, isn't it? Let me first do this, do this, do this, do this. If there is some time left, then let me do that, isn't it? It's always at the bottom. So that's what I'm saying, that is form of laziness when it comes to Dhamma practice, because you prioritize other things over Dhamma practice. And even if you decide, okay, this is not right, I must prioritize Dhamma practice. But then this form of laziness comes, okay, I will do it tomorrow. Or maybe I'll do it next time. I'll do it after I retire. That's a famous line, isn't it? I want to focus on my Dhamma practice when I retire. Then I will have plenty of time. What happens? You don't have health. And also you may not see your retirement, isn't it? Yeah, you may die. Even if you live up to that one, and then there will be other things. Now that I'm retired, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. So many things. And then even if you have time, your body does not agree with you. No, you should have done that before, 5 years, 10 years ago. I cannot handle this now. So that's why. So that's the procrastination. We keep procrastinating. We keep delaying. And then the worst is that I'm not made for that. I cannot do that. That's kind of belittling yourself, undermining your own potential. Self-doubt. Yeah. So from the Buddhist point of view, we say everybody has what is called the Buddha nature. Everybody can, if put effort, and also it has to be the right time. Yeah. So, even though it seems difficult, we should at least put some effort even this life, if you are not able to really practice, but at least listen to it and make prayers so that, very soon to be able to practice and then really actualize that realization. So this is the Shantideva's method of cultivating bodhicitta. So we have discussed in our recap. So there are two main points here, two main parts. So exchanging oneself with others. So first is to contemplate on this equalness, that we are equal, I and others. Because our natural tendency is that we are different. That's why should I work for others? Why should I care for others? I am, they are they, so there's a big gap, there's a difference. So we have to kind of equalize that level, that bias. So the reason is that just like me, others also aspire or wish for happiness and do not wish to experience suffering. So that's same. Same even with a tiny insect. We are all same in that aspect. And then they also have the equal rights to be happy and to be free from suffering. So based on that, it says that we are equal in that aspect. So there's no reason to have this distinction. So then, the second part is to this attitude of exchanging oneself with others. So it says it's not enough just to have this mind of equality between you and others. We still need to engage in this exchanging ourselves with others. The reason being that if we do that, if we don't do that, if we cherish ourselves instead of others, and if we ignore others, show indifference to others, then it says that our condition, we will be in that same condition that we have been for, countless lifetime. So this is the verse where it boils down to, if all injury, fear, and pain in this world arise from grasping at a self, then what use is that great ghost of me? So all our pains, all our injury, all our suffering, all our pain arise from self-cherishing attitude. And self-cherishing attitude stems from self-grasping. So we have the self-grasping, and because of self-grasping, we develop attachment to self. And that's when we started to cherish ours. And that's when attachment arises. And those who help us nurture this, we treat, or we would then perceive them as our friends. And then we are attached to these group of peoples. And then there's this another group that is kind of against this self, or inflicting harm or causing harm or anti to this one. Then we label them as my enemy. And then there are this group of people who has no much impact. So we show indifference and label them as dangerous. So it all stems from self-grasping. So they said, then what use is the great cause of me? So we have to eliminate that. As long as this resides within us, then we will be never free of suffering. I think this is very important. We have to remind ourselves that the real enemy resides within us. For most of us, enemy is out there. There's some external thing, external person that is causing all the harms. But the real enemy in this Bodhicaryavatara, Shantideva says the real enemy is within us. The afflictions. Afflictions are the real enemy. And remember the analogy that even if everybody, the whole population of the world, plus all the devas and all those celestial beings, if they all stand against us as an enemy, and if they were to cause us harm, if they were to inflict harm onto us, it can be unimaginable, isn't it? But the worst and worst they can do is torture us, eventually take our life. That's all. Whereas those, our friends in there, the afflictive emotions, anger, hatred, jealousy, attachment, these can cause more destructions. Not only it can cause suffering in this very life, it can bring us all the way down to lower realms, which the ordinary enemies cannot do that. They don't have that potential, that ability. And also so that's the kind of the extent of harm between our inner enemy and the external enemy. And then also in terms of durations, our external enemy, how long can they harm us? They also have to die, isn't it? If you have an enemy who is like 60 years old and you are 30 years old, you will outlive that. Most likely you will outlive that enemy. And even if that enemy lives for 100 years, how much of time can he commit to harming us? Like us, he also needs to sleep. He also needs to eat. He also needs to go to work. So the time left for him to do all this harm is very short. Whereas all these afflictions are there all the time. They have really all the time to cause harm to us. And then the way they portray. The enemy, we know that they portray as enemy. They are not wearing anything else. They will come as enemy. And we know that when we see, we know that that's our enemy and we can run away. Whereas our afflictions within us, they reside as our friends, always encouraging us. You must get angry. That will embolden you, give us false courage. Some people say anger is very good. It just gives me courage. But the consequences, we don't know. It may give you at that time maybe some kind of a courage, but that courage can lead to more problems instead of solving problems. So our inner enemies are like what you call the kind of undercover agents, or when they wage war, it is like guerrilla warfare, is it? They will be sneaky and all that, isn't it? But the damage is big. You have a question?
I was wondering about the secret enemy, ignorance, the root of these afflictions that are from self-cherishing and afflictions from the averted external enemy.
Sorry.
You have an aversion to external enemy.
Yeah.
You have a self-cherishing attachment to your own enemy, to your afflictions. And then the secret enemy is the ignorance that is driving consciousness.
Yeah, of course, it all stems or springs from ignorance. That's the root. Okay, so that's one part. So in order to really able to develop this cherishing for others and to kind of denounce that cherishing ourselves, we have to reflect on the faults of self-cherishing attitude. I think I've repeatedly mentioned this in class. It is very easy to see the role of self-cherishing attitude. I've mentioned this in class. If you have an argument or quarrel with your spouse or your family members, you later just kind of investigate, kind of dissect that issue, and you will find that it is there. Self-cherishing attitude is there. It's like, how dare you call me that, isn't it? How dare you don't think about me? You have no concern for me. It's always there. Then we realize that if we are able to, eliminate that, take away from that formula, it would be completely different. So this kind of meditation is what we call analytical meditation. It's not something we just think and it comes. You have to analyze. You have to bring in your own experience to convince yourself. And then if we engage repeatedly on that topic, then we will arrive at this level of understanding that we are very convinced. So if we are very convinced, we will stop doing that. That's why I always give you this bottle of poison. If you see a bottle of poison, it says poison, everybody will stay away from that. Because we have this conviction that, any drop of that is consumed, I will die. Because we have this conviction that that can be very, very harmful, detrimental, lethal. So likewise, if we are able to see that in our self-cherishing attitude, then definitely we will be able to kind of really work on reducing that. Tani yonsu matangna tunye pangwar menu te chedar meni matangna sekwa pangwar menu shins. So this is also now is like summarizing the faults of self-cherishing attitude. If I do not completely forsake it, so this self-cherishing attitude, I shall be unable to put an end to my suffering. Example is that just as I cannot avoid being burnt if I do not cast aside the fire. If you still keep holding an ember, is it ember? Ember, yeah? Ember, understand? Yeah? Okay, ember. If you keep, the ember is burning my hand. But if you still clutch that, of course it will burn. So the tendency is we will throw that, we will discard that. So likewise, we have to do when it comes to. So now we are now on a different heading. So this is now actual exchanging ourselves with others and then refuting the misapplication and then doing the right application, then applying the right one. Therefore, in order to allay, is it allay? How do you pronounce allay? Allay the harms inflicted upon me, and in order to pacify the sufferings of others, I shall give myself up to others and cherish them as I do my very self. So if we want to prevent harms to ourselves and also prevent ourselves from causing harm to others, so the only way is to give myself up to others. So until now, we have been doing the opposite. So when we say exchanging oneself with others, it is exchanging that attitude. So until now, cherishing ourselves and then working so hard for this self to have all the joy and happiness. And when it comes to others, we just ignore them. So now is the other way around. Ignore ourselves. So that's very hard even to listen to, isn't it? It's like, ignore yourself and take care of other person. It's like, who does that? Isn't it? In this world, everybody is what's in for me attitude.
It's our habits.
Yeah, it's our habit.
We do it on automatic pilot.
Yeah, it's always, what's in for me? Even helping, in the name of helping, there is always ulterior motive. Before you engage in that help, always say, what's in for me? What am I getting from this? If then you weigh this and then you say, okay, I get something, it's okay, I'll help you, isn't it? Tani shenji wang jurchik. So tani shen la tang cha tangs. So that means ta chinzing ki lopang. So letting go of this self-cherishing. So I think from all this, even if we are unable to really apply all this in our life, but you can always have some kind of takeaway, like this one. So we have this tendency that if something happens, we are very quick to find somebody, look for somebody to blame. And sometimes we just blame other person. But here, Shandita was saying that all this is because of your self-cherishing attitude. So if you want to blame, if you want to find somebody to blame, then it is your self-cherishing attitude. So if we are able to bring that into our life, every day-to-day life, it's very good. It will kind of pause us when our habitual way. So that's why we did this meditation about awareness. We are watching, spying our emotions. So this is to practice us. Of course, we can watch all this thought. And this is not meant to leave it here on the cushion. When you go back in the world, then always spy our mind. If we're able to watch our mind, then we will be more careful of our speech and our action. So without this constant introspective awareness, we will forget, we will get into our usual habits, and that's always problematic.
I was just wondering if someone is very self-cherishing and you're trying to practice non-self-cherishing, then wouldn't it seem to reinforce their self-cherishing by cherishing your self-cherishing?
Sorry, could you repeat the last part? When somebody is very self-cherishing, and then when you are trying to practice non-self-cherishing, and then, come again, that one.
If you practice cherishing others, would that reinforce their self-cherishing, or would the hope be is that they would come around and wake up?
What do you think?
My wife usually says about that, she just wants to slap them. but I think it might help them if they finally, maybe they've been waiting, maybe they think nobody likes them. Then if you show them you like them and help them, instead of reinforcing, it would satisfy them, like a glass of water to a...
Yeah.
I don't think that you being skillful at this means reinforcing and self-cherishing. And when you cherish others, you recognize that just like you, they're in this predicament, and you cherish them because of that. But you don't cherish their bad actions, and you don't do things to reinforce that kind of thing. You try to do things to make them happy.
But the question was, do they enforce the self-cherishing by your actions? Not that you have that motivation, yes, you're doing anything like that. Because you're referring to self, but I'm referring to others.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I mean, if what you're doing is reinforcing their self-cherishing, then you're really not helping them, are you? But if you're cherishing them because they're suffering and you recognize that their suffering is self-cherishing, then you can try to be skillful in how you are helpful to them.
But if you're enlightened, then you would see, maybe by the application of crazy wisdom, you could actually help them by outwardly appearing to harm. But you have to have that level of enlightenment to actually see them, because they're outside of you.
Acha kunju la kar len yue. Tisig do ko tisig do. Mi shenba de self-cherishing shibu ji yuna. Ta rangshi sawe shibu ji be yina. Ani so de non-self-cherishing nyamlin shigi yue yina. Ani ko kari chinye chone che chu su na. Ani ko de ko che dang de liya ko kar so reinforce shigo marves. Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it? We have to think about that. And also, what are you going to do? Even if you kind of counter that one, will it reduce his self-cherishing, or you are going to cause more problem? He already have a self-cherishing attitude, then he may burst into anger, which amplifies, which kind of facilitates other negative emotions to arise. But in this case, it's more of your practice, because you want to, practice. So when you have this, already have this thought, I don't know whether you are practicing non-self-cherishing. You already have this view that other one is so self-cherishing, and I am not, you see. So
I think that as what they say, one moment of anger destroys countless eons of virtue. Whereas I always flip that and said, well, one moment of goodness can destroy all the negative. And in a way, but it's really how we respond rather than how we react to people. You know, at least sometimes that's the case. It doesn't always work.
Okay, we will think about it. Think more on this and see. Okay, I think we will stop here. It's almost, yeah, let's just end class a bit early. Let's dedicate. Thagi chinye sabe gyawa de tenda ndowa kunla kangbenda kyabara chizun lozan taba tembe nyingbo ringdo seje shos. Okay, thank you.